I think that any person who can add 1 and 1 and do the simple mathematics, you don't need complex mathematical formulas here to understand you're being screwed financially by your own government. And I blame the federal government equally with the provincial government. The federal government is handing this money over. There is some degree of public trust for public money. This is being lost. I have no faith in any of the political parties anymore. They don't want to look at the issue the way it is set out. It becomes compounded by the feds having, for some reason, handing it over unconditionally. And because that's the comment you get back, even when the NDP was in, and the finance minister says it's transferred unconditionally. And I said, yeah. I said, well, for the moment, suppose I accept that's okay, that it's transferred unconditionally. I said, are you then saying that the province is not to comply with Section 36 in terms of its disbursement within the province? He answered very tersely with a one-sentence thing, we'll take our advice from the appeal court decision. Appeal court decision in Nova Scotia that the CBRM ran into, in which the justices concluded that only the provincial and federal government, as signatories to this clause, can adjudicate this issue, and it's only up to them. No group, no municipality, no individual can bring this case to the courts to be dealt with. That's what's happening here. The people that are abusing us are the two levels of government.
The Constitution confirms the long-standing division of powers among governments in Canada. It entrenches the principle of equalization, thus helping less wealthy provinces to discharge their obligations without excessive taxation.
That the Constitution does not belong to the citizens. It belongs to the people that are making laws they don't abide by and are not held accountable for not abiding by them. It's bizarre. It's criminal. What do we do when we have a Constitution? Does it belong to us or does it belong to the politicians? The courts have ruled it belongs to the politicians. Well, judges get their jobs being appointed by the politicians. One time I was looking at Louis XIV, and under his throne was the structure of a lion. They're the lion protecting the politicians in modern-day society. If you have a prescription of a constitution to assess your government as to whether or not it's living up to the rules they make, the courts have said, no, they don't have to live up to the rules you make. The Constitution, in particular with reference to Section 36, doesn't belong to the citizens. It belongs to the politicians. It's what a crock of you-know-what. Governments are breaking the law, and we have no means by the courts to actually hold them accountable. And you call this a democracy? That this kind of blatant illegality is put right to the public, and no one is, shall we say, crying about it. When you know the facts, then you've got the ability then to be able to cry, this is foul, this is criminal. Where you transfer the thing without any accountability, this has led to this kind of political corruption on this file, and most residents of Nova Scotia who are unaware of it, right, are losing out on the benefits, and communities are closing down to the detriment of the society outside of our main capital region. They're using extra legal means to hide it simply because the public doesn't understand it, and they get away with it. When I was reading Hansard, the provincial Hansard, one cabinet minister in the Tory government going back a few years, he thought Cape Breton Island got half of the federal transfer. That's the level of knowledge even there, when the program has been capped at $32 million for years. It's bizarre, it's silly what's going on. The Liberals in 2011, they passed a resolution calling for an audit. I've written the Premier. In his answer, he doesn't address that question. He just talks on other issues, as politicians do, to fill the page and make it that he's responded. When they're not in power, what is being done is not right. But if they happen to gain the seat of power, which all of the bloody parties have done now, I've got no faith in any of them. We have to expose all of them for what they are, and what is happening here to the people can be changed if the people also become informed of it and rise up to defend their rights.